Hello and welcome, guys and gals, to Always Busy Gaming, your gateway into an imaginary world. Today on your screens, we have episode 3 of Rogue Lords, where we are in pursuit of the Claw of Geryon. If you feel lost, then do check out the previous videos. The link is in the top right corner of your screen and in the description below, along with a link to the game's Steam page. Do definitely go and wishlist it. Nacon have really done a wonderful job. Let's go on to the questionable area where we don't know what can happen. It's random. It's another sacrificial stone. This is going to be painful.
When I give, I get.
You know what?
Simple
Since we were not too
mortal
happy about that,
You'd better find a use for them.
let's take Spirits of the Night. This will be our SP finishing technique. Like if we are going to focus on SP attacks, then we should have a SP finisher and not an HP finisher, shouldn't we? If I don't have another choice, I might have to submit something for the Headless Horseman. Let's see if we can do it.
Be on your guard, disciples. Even you are not impervious to the snares of this swamp.
Brawny, psychic, great thinker. Well, she is half a great thinker. That's how she's so smart. We discover an ancient fountain. Drinking from it will certainly increase our disciple's strength if it hasn't been blessed, basically. The people who lived here worshipped the moon and they believed they could capture a part of its power in basins, and many of them did succeed. But then, after our exile, people started blessing them. You know what? Let's take the risk. Let's drink from the fountain. And she is invigorated by power. And just in one sip, she finishes it all. Wow, that was quite a bit, Mary. She's ingenious now. So she gets an additional trait. That's how the game works. Combat. Frontal attack, terror in 4 knights. We just get 1. 2 skills, 2 people. 40 souls. We have the Grim Reaper coming right up. And everything will be cheaper. $40 souls it is.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
Zealous, Waft, and Sinistra. For those of you who don't know, a Waft is a creature that these people have actually created themselves. If you would know this if you watched the first episode. If you would want to watch the first episode, the link is on the top right corner of your screen. Cursed mirror, huh? Let's put it on the Zealot. We know he's going to be provocative and he's going to be the shield. This game really allows you to catch the shield and treat it like a ragdoll and simply end it quickly. Spectral attack plus 2 zombie, huh? You know what? Let's attack him once.
I'll have to cut your head off.
And then 1 into 2 to 3 SP. We made him vulnerable. I wish we could have ended him, but unfortunately I don't have anything for that right now. Let's end this turn. And he died. Why? From depression. This attack, 7 years bad luck, gives them depression, which means they lose 5 to 6 SP per turn. One turn is them playing or you playing, to be honest. I mean, that's how the effects work. Let's put it back on Sinistra. She has an HP shield but no SP shield. And also the Waft is getting hit too. and her depression has really increased. It's gone up for 10 turns now, so if we do nothing they would automatically die, but obviously we should do something, because as long as they're alive they apply full attack on us. In this game you should definitely focus fire, try and get down one person before hitting others, and she's
Let's
also
get down to
healing
business.
herself because
Dice were loaded from the start.
she heals herself every time she attacks or causes damage. Now you see, that's how we can cheat, and there was no other way to actually absorb those
Keeping you
22
from ridding
damage.
us of this vermin, disciples.
True that, disciples. You see, over here, the devil is presumed to be someone else, and you are in fact the disciple. The game gives you command of the three great
What game are we playing?
denizens of history, villainous denizens, and expects you to make the best use of them. And we do actually.
Couldn't have ended any other way.
So we are the disciples. So after the devil, we have the most command.
Souls to torment.
Okay, finally we are going to the Grim Reaper again, and
No
we are
one
loaded.
stands against the Prince of Hell.
But no one stands against the Prince of Hell, you see. Oh,
I
we
feel
get
my
10 diabolical
strength
essence.
increasing.
Let's see what does the Grim Reaper have.
A conductor of souls. All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
Well, Midnight's Kiss is definitely good. I know that from experience. They've got relics here which are permanent boost to your stats. When 3 skills are offered one more. Crown of Conscience. We didn't take this, I think. Let's first decide what we can give up. You know what? Let's take some risk right now. Give up an end guard and take one normal end guard here for the time being to serve as a placeholder, you know. And then when we get back that demonic end guard, we shall be in a much better state. Definitely let's take the punishing nails. We get 2 things recharged every turn, and that's amazing for him. Then you know what, that way we wouldn't really need to use Dracula's rally all the time. And that's the end of the chapter, boys. Time for a new one.
Hillocks and fields as far as the eye can see. This scene lacks chaos.
It's a sanctuary here.
My disciples arrive at the sanctuary. There they discover a priest who no longer preaches. He tells them that he took part in the creation of a monster, who then returned to dispossess him of his inspiration, Caleb. We offer him a chance to take his revenge on his creature. He accepts. My disciples, on the pretext of making a trap, take one of his hairs and ask for a fragment of Caleb. He gives them a bit of the wood used in his making. The 2 elements of the ritual secure inside the puppet, my disciples and the priest go their separate ways. The latter leaves for the town of New Florentine to find Caleb, and my servants set off for an abandoned farm.
And that's how the story progresses.
Fear my rage.
Wait, that's such a bad sculpture for a church-like entity. You know what? I'm guessing these are a group of people, but they are not really the church. So they are actually very demonic in nature, but then they are helping the poor people, as you will see later on. Obviously, while taking advantage of them. Why? Because, well, this is a world in which Dracula's, the Headless Horseman, Bloody Mary all roam freely and the devil exists. Bad things happen. Let's go down this road. Fight a combat.
Many humans lie dead among the roots of these trees. I quite like this place.
Fallberg is going to fall. Oh, we get double the number of skills. So it's 4 skills. Let's go.
Heads will roll tonight.
Exhaustress and a mercenary, huh? And there is going to be 2 waves. She's got a mental barrier, but she's got really low mental health, to be honest. We could end her.
Let's get down to business.
Let's keep the mental barrier on Dracula because
Power is absolute.
that's who that hit will go through if it doesn't work. If my plan doesn't work.
Who shall die tonight?
7 years bad luck, please. Look at that, it's already at 7. That's amazing. Spectral torpor.
Listening, master.
No. This is too weak, to be honest. But I don't have anything else.
Who should I kill?
Well, this was a mistake, to be honest. See, because of these mistakes that are possible in the game allows you to make mistakes and still continue going on. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't really defeat the game. So there is a perfect way to do things and there is the survival way of doing things. Figuring out which is which and making the right choices is what this game is all about. Obviously there is a bit of a learning curve to it.
Who should I kill?
You could learn it yourself or you could watch this video and learn it. I mean, okay, actually I haven't said this before, but this is a really long video. It's for quite a number of hours and I sincerely hope that you guys enjoy it. So now his attack has really gone down. He's not even doing anything to us. You really have to actually keep your people alive until and unless there is really no way, 2 ways about it.
Should I kill?
The only time you should be freely taking hits is either when there is no way you can win otherwise,
Your soul is mine.
or if it doesn't really matter if they even hit you a bit because you are going to end them next turn. So when the new wave comes, everything refreshes, but our skills don't recharge. And our health doesn't recharge
game
back.
are we playing? Mirror, mirror. Who shall die tonight?
Let's hit the privateer, please. The diva and the privateer, these look more like humans, to be honest. We've reduced your attack. Spirits of the night.
I'll do likewise.
That depression really hurts them. You see, that effect of depression is really beneficial in the long run if you're continuously reducing some of their mental health by even 6 points. That's a big deal. But then if you use the spectral torpor, it removes the mental depression and puts some decomposition on them. Why? Because you can have only one type
Sharpened to perfection.
of attack effect at one point of time. Well, that was pretty amazing, wasn't it? And the inhabitants'
With
terror
that, the
invigorates me.
humans will finally submit to my yoke.
Timeless vision, you know, I really didn't believe in this until much later, but this is actually necessary. With timeless vision, that's your substitute for bloodlust. It's the SP
I am
substitute.
pleased with these offerings. Take them. Take everything you can.
Enguard, no. Secret Boot and Shadow Hook both are not all that fun. You know what? Let's take anything right now which we can later on use in the sacrificial altar. Oh no,
Take everything you can.
Spirits of the Night finally, and stabbing also. That's kind of sad. But I think let's focus on stabbing because Spirits of the Night is anyway an ending kill. I don't need that to be
Take
really
everything
high.
you can.
I'm just keeping more ending kills in hand. 7 years bad luck. Yes, please. Two 7 years bad luck means a huge amount of damage dealt out. Styx Fountain, huh? Yes, I could do with a recharge. I'm 41 of 70.
I hate fields. I'd love to see them burn. The waters of the Styx offer invincibility. I need more.
True. Only 20 isn't enough. My appetite is very large, you see. So we can either go down a fight and then a big fight, then the Grim Reaper and then the big fight, or we can go down the right. People are alerted of our
No
coming.
one stands against the Prince of Hell.
What does it matter? They are just people. You know, towards
I
the
hear
end,
the murmurs of the trees. They're fed up with humans. Let us answer their prayers.
towards the end, it really helps to push terror up. The disciples stumble upon two vampires deep in conversation. To your immense horror, instead of plotting their next atrocity, the pair are wasting time composing ludicrous poems. Vapid verses, the false poet faces me a stake in the wind. The moon lights up in luminous balls of your thunderous stupidity. But since violence is your only motivation, a verbal battle should decide the winner. When they see your disciples, they rush over and ask them to judge their absurd competition of inane poetry. The impertinence! As they get on in centuries, vampires develop obsessions. Those who fancy themselves are poets are unquestionably the worst. They give creatures of the night a bad name. We would have pulverized such pretensions, but we need all the help we can get, to be honest. The forces of evil are sparse. Humiliating them with his own poetic composition does seem interesting, but you know what? Let's listen to them. This is unworthy of listening to be honest. He kindles an irresistible desire for murder in me. The headless horseman could kill them right away. Lie and designate the tragedian as winner. Would it be worth our health, our power?
It's high time I interfered.
It is easy, so let's do it. Finally, success. I told you, easy and 90% works. Declares the first dude as the winner. So he's really happy about it, and the other dude obviously won't be because he didn't even get a chance.
Simple mortal trinkets.
We have military
Better find a
training.
use for them.
It's kind of sad that even so late in the game they're giving us first grade things, and as you can see, we can't equip anything.
I am pleased with these offerings. Take them.
That's why we take 20 souls. That's the problem if you don't sacrifice early on. Everyone needs some sacrifice. He's an intellectual now, the headless horseman. This is such a big problem. If I had to, who would I leave? I can never decide. Unfortunately, I don't have to. You know what? Let's not go to the Grim. Let's go to the End Guard. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the Grim and pick up our End Guard. Does keep us in line with our task of not sacrificing anything and proving the problem.
Fields. I'd love to see them burn.
Actually, I haven't said this, but I found the artwork of the map area so amazing.
When I give, I get.
It looks so great to see him gliding along. Now, the only reason we are doing
Take
this
everything you can.
is because we've already proven a point. It's sad that I am getting only one tier 1 level items. Let's go meet the Grim Reaper, take back our
I am pleased
Guard.
with these.
which is extremely high now.
A conductor of souls.
We can take
All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
I wish we could have taken that. We had 2 of it already, the spirits of the night. But what could we give now to hold on to? We can give something to hold on to. No point of giving one of this. We'll use 2 of it. 6. Reducing their attack by 6 would really be amazing. If we are going to be using SP attacks, let's use it properly. Okay, we are finally here at the compulsory elite battle.
I'm terribly sorry.
Tortured soul,
but it
the
seems
medium,
your time has come.
and the bounty hunter. We need the medium out first, and she's got some shields on her. The tortured soul gets +1 attack every time he takes a damage. Bounty hunter has nothing. Let's use the cursed mirror on the medium and start focus fire.
Mirror, mirror, who shall die tonight?
You know, it would have actually paid to keep something of individual attack, but no matter, this shall do. Now at times this comes up where something gets locked for 2 turns, and at times it doesn't. I don't know why that happens. There are definitely a few small glitches in the game, and that's obvious. It's still in development. It's the beta build that we are playing right now. This is the demo of the game. I wish we could have ended him.
You lack discipline.
He's vulnerable. She is vulnerable, sorry. And she expires from the depression, because you see the depression isn't dependent on you attacking. It happens regardless of what.
What game are we playing?
Now you see her items are stocked, and each time we use a skill, it is locked for 2 turns. Why? Because this is a hunt. Each time a disciple recharges, +1 damage to enemies. This is an elite combat where the dice are loaded against you. That's how the game manipulates the difficulty. It unnecessarily adds in rules, but you as the devil also have an option to cheat. You know what? Let's increase the damage. Now it's nowhere written, this effect, how many turns it lasts for. So I have to presume it lasts only for this turn. I'm not too happy about that, because I should have been doing that before I used my attacks. But no issues, I can probably use these same attacks next turn. You know what? Let's keep everything sharpened up too. Now see, these are not the perfect things to do, but the game really doesn't punish you extremely. but it actually does. You see, this because of those mistakes, Bloody Mary is now vulnerable. You have to really pay attention to multiple different stats and information panes which you have to look at. Well, no one said that being the devil was all fun and games. Let's attack again, please. And hope that the depression finishes him. Actually, it should. He's depressed for 20 turns. Can you imagine? And he's done for. The tortured soul is left alone. See, this is how the game recompensates by making stupid decisions itself.
What game are we playing?
So at times I've noticed, the game reacts to when it really wants you to lose. I've had runs where the game was super difficult for no rhyme or reason very suddenly. Now, why that happens is initially the game is easy, the enemies are easy. As you progress, it becomes harder. And finally, the boss fight is the last chapter, the end of the chapter. So this is the trend of the game. Every new book,
Such a powerful relic was hidden in this rat hole.
every new book that you start would have an end. That end would be the hardest. Now what we picked up here was a relic which which gives us 20 souls every time we increase
My
our
disciples
terror.
find the abandoned farm. There, using their own blood, they draw a network of symbols on the floor. When they have finished, they honor my name and recite the words of incantation. The puppet suddenly burst into flames, a long tongue of brown flame rising from the small wooden body without damaging a thing. In the distance, a cry rings out. We are close to making Caleb slightly more human, slightly more mortal. My disciples leave to meet up with the priest in the town of New Florentine.
Well, the voodoo doll does work.
Screams of terror. Such sweet music to my ears.
All the more sweeter now because we get 20 souls too. Our hold is
Fragment
increasing.
of power for my disciples.
And we have a half chance of getting an additional relic or an amazing relic. Inflict 5 SP on all enemies. The Staff of Storms. Well, that does seem very, very powerful. Imagine that. We have very easily so many turns. 5 SP each turn is a great help. See, whenever possible, you should look at two areas too. You should look at 2 chapters at once to plan out what you should take now and what you should take later. That definitely is a very beneficial strategy. 2 scholars are having a heated debate in the middle of the road over the best way to create the philosopher's stone. The astrologist says it's the movement of the heavenly bodies. It's the source of perfect incantory movement, while the alchemist says that the stars have nothing to do with what happens on earth. Let's observe, and they say that the alchemist says that the solution is found in the solution, precise mix of substance that will give more convincing results. And the astrologers refuses to believe him. And this discussion is never ending. What can we do? We can try to help them settle their dispute. You know what? It's a waste of my power. Let's just eliminate both of them.
Take everything you can.
Finally, we got the spirits of the night. Now, towards the end of the game, if you're not careful, you
Take
will have
everything you can.
too many things. Now, because something got upgraded, we again get one more chance. Vampiric Dominion really helps when you've got a big load of attack coming your way. Plus, you want to open up the field by removing some of their protection. It's really an amazing card, and I can't recommend it less. Let's go on to the sacrificial altar. We have many useless things in
Their
our
time
hand.
is counted. This forest isn't so terrifying. Not yet.
Why don't we see the event first? It's always fun. But the sacrificial stone is always more better.
This sacrifice will make one of you more powerful. But who will I choose?
You know what? Since we already proved our point, we can do this. So let's go ahead and do it. Open up the space
I
for
am
him.
pleased with these offerings.
You see,
Take them.
so late in the game, I'm still getting level 1 items.
Choose quickly. Evil will not spread by itself.
Generally, this doesn't happen, but somehow in this run it is. Let's take the military training. At times, a good dodge does help. You wouldn't believe it, but Dracula is actually playful. It's an isolated shack and a hospice for victims of the White Plague. Inside, they find a group of hopeless mortals waiting to die. Let's see what we can do. Places like this didn't exist. Mortals got rid of their sick and dying without such blubbering compassion. Under our influence, they'll soon forget about pity. True that. But it's a castle. They're waiting for one thing, death. We could give it to them, but our generosity has a price. Their eternal servitude. Change the dying into living dead. Okay. Harvest the souls of the dying. Or imprison their souls in a relic. Let's harvest the souls. We intensify the
Souls
suffering.
rotted with vice. Oh, they shall be very useful.
Well, that went well. We got a little something for nothing. Okay guys, so I will end this episode here. Episode 4 will be out soon, and the link to that will be in the top right corner of your screen and in your description box, along with the link to the entire playlist. If you enjoyed this video, then do smash that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. This is Ashes Bashes signing out. Until next video, game on.